Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys checking the video out and choosing to spend a little bit of time with me today. It's always much appreciated and very grateful for that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about how rain affects bass. And this is a complicated topic. It's not anything simple. There's a tremendous amount of myths and misunderstandings surrounding it. And there's a lot of variables that determine, how bass react to different rain intensities. So we're going to sort of deep dive into that in today's video. Also, guys, before we get started, I want to remind you about the December sale on my Solar Bat Series RB2 and RB3 series sunglasses. During the month of December, you can get them at 50% off if you guys want to pick up a pair. These things, guys, optical clarity, second to none on these, designed by Gary Nesty. He's an optometrist, a bass angler as well. They're just the finest glasses you'll ever wear. And I'll put the Solar Bat link in the description if you guys would like to pick a pair up at 50% off. So much appreciated there. Okay, guys, there's a lot of myths in bass fishing. I mean, there's a lot of things up for debate. And when we talk about bass fishing, I'm just sharing with you guys the things that I have figured out myself and things that work for me. I'm not trying to make your life miserable if you don't agree with me. I'm simply sharing what I have seen to be true in my own fishing, and hopefully I can pass it on down to you guys and it'll help you guys catch some more fish. And that's what today's topic is going to intended to do with this rain. Now, rain has a wide range of things that it does to the fish based upon a couple different factors, and primarily it's based upon the water temperature in correlation with the rain. So when you're talking about how rain actually makes a fish more aggressive or less aggressive, you have to tie in the water temperature to it, tie in also the water clarity with it, and the intensity of the rain. There's a threefold thing that goes in there, because you can't have one without the other in determining. So I can give you pretty much of a good foundation of what to begin with, and there are some exceptions to the rule, but here is what I found out, by far more than anything else, some of the biggest myths are. The number one biggest myth, well, they're all going to be myths to some extent, but one that I see a lot is that a lot of people think that, just because it's raining, if you've got, say for example, the water's fairly warm and clear, which is really good for rainy days. If warm and clear water, or just clear water in general, is benefited by rain. But one of the biggest things a lot of people or anglers, mess up a little bit and they don't quite understand is if you have like one day of rain, it can be good. It can activate the fish and it can make them a little bit more aggressive and bite good. But what happens if you have successive days of rain? Say it's one of those deals where you've got one of those stagnant stationary fronts that hang on for 2 or 3 days, and it's rainy or cloudy for 3 or 4 days in a row. That will actually turn the fish off after a couple days. I don't care if it's in the wintertime or the summer, spring, or whatever. If you've got an extended period of rain or low light conditions, it does not do anything to activate the fish. I can't tell you how many trips, guys, I've taken where, say I didn't get a chance, say a front was rolling through and it's been raining for 2 or 3 days, and I'm all excited about going to the lake. I figured this out like 30 years ago, and I'm all excited about, I'm going to the lake because it's rainy and the fish are going to bite spinner baits and top waters and they're going to be real aggressive. And I get down there and they're not. You can't hardly catch one on a power moving bait if it's been cloudy for a long time. What happens is after a few days, the fish will tuck to the bottom. So if you're fishing during a period where it's been raining pretty hard for a couple days, or raining in general, the thing you have to do is you have to fish slow baits on the bottom. It's like they tuck down on the bottom after a couple days of rain with that. Now, if you happen to be there the first day it's raining, it could be great with top water or crankbait or spinnerbait or chatterbait or whatever. But the longer that rain holds around, the more that you're going to have to fish slow with that. So one of the top things I do if it's been raining for a while is I'll go to flipping and pitching, or dragging a football head jig or throwing a shaky head on the bottom, something like that, even if it's raining. So remember that. It'll definitely save you a lot of problems with that. Now, let's get into the positives and the negatives as far as what rain does and the intensity of the rain. In general, you want just some type of a light rain, and you usually want it mixed with a little bit of wind. Usually if you have a light rain, something that's just like a little above a mist, light rain, a little bit of wind out there, and water visibility of over 3 feet or so, it doesn't matter if the water temperature is 45 degrees or 80 degrees, it's usually going to be a positive thing. Now, as the intensity of the rain increases, say you get into more of a moderate to heavier rain, you'll notice the activity of the fish goes down a little bit. The fish aren't near as aggressive. It's like if you got just a light rain with 5-mile-an-hour wind, yeah, they can be biting like crazy. But if you get out there and it's not like a downpour, but it's raining pretty hard and steady, regardless what the wind is, a lot of times it turns the fish off a little bit. It's almost like it makes them a little bit inactive. I don't know, it's got to have something to do with the surface disturbance. Now this is more, it has more of an impact on water visibilities that are a little bit on the stain side. If you've got water visibilities that are like less than 4 foot clarity and you've got a hard rain, it's usually not any type of a benefit whatsoever. But, on the other hand, if you've got a super clear lake, like, 8-10 foot of visibility, it can offset that just a little bit and it'll help out. Another time that rain doesn't work that good is if you have really cold water. If you got water temperatures, in the 40s, like in the winter time of the year, cloudy days can be okay, but there's something about rain, once again, that surface disturbance or whatever, it'll put those fish down a little bit. Not that they're just not going to bite, quite as good. So if I had to tell you like the ideal situation as far as the rain intensity and the weather conditions where the fish are really active, and what I mean by active, where you can catch and power fish, and the funnest ways to fish, like on top waters or reeling big swim baits or something like that, it's when you've got water temperatures anywhere between, say, 55 to 75 degrees, and you've got a light rain, you've got some type of a steady wind of 5 to 10 miles an hour, and it's the first day of that rain. That's ideal scenario to fish. If you can find a day like that, you're going to catch a lot of fish. But again, as you lose that condition on any area, like if the water temperature falls below mid 50s, if it's raining harder out there, if your water visibility, you lose that water visibility, it's going to knock it down. So here's what you have to do as far as to adjust to that. If you get out there and it's raining and you're not catching them the way you think you should, which is normally moving baits, just slow down, like I talked about at the beginning of the video. Pick up a Carolina rig, a football head jig, a shaky head, a drop shot, flipping and pitching, and you'll catch some fish doing that. I remember the best lesson I had with this was my mentor I talk about a lot, Terry Thomas, who taught me how to flip. We were fishing a tournament together one time, and it was one of those toad strangler thunderstorms. It was severe storms rolling through all day long, raining super hard. It'd been raining for a couple days like that. Lake was coming up, flooded in the willow trees like that, and we absolutely ripped them, flipping jigs in heavy cover in those willow trees with lightning and thunder cracking down everywhere, rain and low light conditions. During those conditions, a lot of times in that heavy rain, those fish will seek heavy cover after it's been there for a while. So that's just another one of those oddball things about bass that they do with that. And obviously every situation is different. That's been sort of my experiences with that. But if you're going to take advantage of it, guys, pay close attention to the weather. Get out there the first day that front comes through and it gets cloudy and rainy. Take advantage of it. And then after that, slow down, finesse down, fish deeper stuff on the bottom, and you'll keep catching them. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.